Hello, one and all. This is my review, reaction, and cut content discussion of That Time You Reincarnated Slime, Season 3, Episode 15, Audience. And that's a rather interesting title for this episode, considering, I do expect us to actually get to the audiences this episode, but there's still a lot between now and then. We still have, Malim's whole scene here with her promising at dragons. We should have a scene with Molly, which... yeah, I'm not really sure how that's going to go because they did cut out Rimuru. I'm going to say now. Rimuru basically hiring a bodyguard to keep him safe. That was a whole big scene back in Blummin', but we didn't see that. And it's only then after that that we actually get to the audiences, and there are a lot of them. Like 5 different species, at least 5 different species, come to greet Rimuru. So, yeah. That's a lot to get through this episode, and I'm a bit worried they're going to cut out a lot of content, but let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so I decided to stop by. First off, she realized they were having fun from a whole country away. And secondly, well, this is just the entrance of the labyrinth in the anime. In the light novel, they're on floor freaking 100 of the labyrinth. Malim got through 100 floors of this labyrinth and then got to them. That should be completely and utterly possible for anybody, but she just freaking did it, and Rimuru has no idea why. That said, Raphael did notice her coming, but deemed her not to be a threat, so she didn't actually alert Rimuru of her presence. Yeah, noble work performed by grown-ups. Honestly, Veldora and Ramers too are just so absolutely excited to actually have a job, a role, a way to contribute to society, and they are just really rubbing it in her face. Seriously, Rammus is literally sticking her nose up at Malim, saying, "I'm better than you, so go play elsewhere." Oh, that was brutal right there. I know Malim is holding back, but let's not forget Rammus is very, very fragile, and Malim is basically a god. Oh yeah, the letter. Malim sent from her letter saying basically, "Please, for the love of all that is good and holy in this world, teach my people how to cook. I can't stand them giving me raw vegetables every freaking day. It's driving me literally insane." Oh god, she is so absolutely touched. Rimuru might be annoyed by her, but he is still, by far, the nicest person she knows. Don't tell me, Ramers, are you living with Rimuru? Oh god, the implications of that phrase are a bit disturbing, especially considering Ramers is only like this big. Oh god above, that blushing, good lord. Yep, and that just broke Malim, and now Ramers is even more arrogant. Huzzah, oh god. Oh god, Rimuru, literal hands in his face trying to avoid the embarrassment of all of this. Malim, let's not forget, you own a country. You technically own like 4 countries combined together into one super country that might actually be bigger than Tempest. Rimuru owns the entire forest, but still, she owns 4 countries merged together, and she's the person in charge of all of that, and, while we're probably gonna see it, she skipped out on her homework to teach her how to run a country to come here and play. Oh god, Malim, I really feel bad for your people. Interesting. I actually really like the animation of that, especially because in the light novel, it was just grade school insults being thrown back and forth for quite a while. Thankfully, neither of them really had the vocabulary to do anything too damaging, but I like it. You know, the anime is more of a visual medium, so them, like, flying back and forth, chasing after one another, that's a much better way of representing this. Though in both situations, of course, Shuna was the one to break up the fight, saying no sweets for anyone who's fighting. God, she is the best mom. Especially because, you know, those are two demon lords. Those are two of the strongest beings in existence. Well, Rama's not her current form, but still, they are two of the oldest, strongest beings in existence, and Shuna just basically put them both under control by offering to withhold cake from them. Oh, that pout is precious. Yes, good job, Shuna. That thumbs up. Absolutely perfect. No. Also, I think the manga that Veldora is currently reading is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. That's what it looks like to me. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, but that's what the vibe I'm getting at least. Oh yeah, also, Malim fully skipped out her homework to come here and play. She absolutely ran away because she doesn't like studying. Yeah, love the attitude right there. Rimru's like, okay, so I know you're breaking the rules, and I know you're gonna get in trouble, but I can just say that you lied to me and I believed it, and I won't get punished as a result. Yay! Okay, let's not forget last episode. Malim popped in and said, hey, I can get dragons for you. Awesome! Ooh, Earth Dragon, Wind Dragon, Ice Dragon. Okay, I think they're skipping over a lot right here. Yeah, Rimmer actually says that he installs the traps on floors 1 through 50 himself because he doesn't want to make it too hard or too easy, and just lets these other idiots go nuts with the other floors. Malim's controlling the fire, wind, earth, frost dragon floors. Veldora and Ramos get their own floors. But, you know, Rimuru doesn't actually expect anybody to get to those floors anytime soon, so he doesn't really care how nuts they go. Also, love Malim testing out the traps like that. Oh, and Ramos just died. So sad. Okay, now we're getting to Molly, which I'm excited to talk about. But first, let's talk about everything they just cut there, because, oh boy, there was a lot. First off, Rimuru asks, oh, will the dragons be like Veldora? At which point, Malim and Veldora got really freaking ticked off at him, because, yeah, dragons in this world aren't actually dragons. They're more like lizards. There's only 4 true dragons out there. Veldora, his 2 sisters, and Veldanava, the Star King Dragon. Though he's kind of dead right now. That's the whole thing, because, I mean, he died, and he was supposed to be reborn into Malim's pet dragon, but then that died, so nobody really knows where the freak this dude is or what's going on with him. Anyway, though, so, yeah, all dragon... This is the thing that actually bothers me in this series. I mean, you have, like, Demon Lords and Awakened Demon Lords. You have heroes and true heroes. You have dragons and true dragons. And it's just like, does this make more sense in Japanese? Because just the layers here feel really weird. But either way, basic dragons, the things that, you know, fly around this world that are not Veldora and his siblings, are essentially dinosaurs. They are monsters born from the broken down elements of Malim's pet dragon, which was supposed to be the host for Veldanava. So yeah, because that dragon was killed, all the world is now filled with dragons. It's interesting. Also interesting the fact that there are only 4 real elements of dragons: earth, frost, fire, and wind, which does somewhat align with the true dragons. Wind is Veldora, frost and fire are sisters, and as for earth, well, while that might not, fully align with Veldanava, Malim's pet dragon did seem to be of the earth element, so yeah, I don't know if there's something there, but very interesting. Anyway, though, Rimuru first asked for Dragon Lords, basically the highest tier of dragons, who have human-level intelligence and are about as strong as Clayman. But even for Malim, those things are way too strong to tame, so instead she captured a bunch of really strong archdragons, like 1 layer below, and put them on the 4 floors of the labyrinth, so they can each turn it into a volcano, a thunderstorm, a frozen wasteland, whatever. And the hope is that, once, if you have enough time, if you have enough exposure to Veldora's Magicules, they will eventually evolve into Dragon Lords. We'll see what happens with that, though. Anyway, though, now we're switching over to Molly. And like I said in my opening, there's supposed to be a whole scene where after Rimuru visited him in Blummond, he assigned a bodyguard to look after him, but we didn't get that scene, so I don't know if we're getting the bodyguard, which would mess a lot of things up, but let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, also in the light novel, Raphael sees the finished labyrinth that Rimuru designed and describes it as being beyond vicious, basically impossible to clear for anyone in this world. And also it does clarify that you need to buy a resurrection bracelet to actually enter the labyrinth, which, yeah, absolutely, abso-freaking-lutely. That should come with every ticket into the labyrinth, because actually letting people die down there would be very, very bad for business. Yeah, Rimuru also built a refugee camp. Well, the 495 was already a refugee camp, but he turned into super expensive lodging for people who, make it that far before they go face off against the 4 archdragons and then Veldora himself. Okay, so they are... Alright, so... Okay, lots to unpack here. Basically, the dude back here... Oh, I zoomed out. Okay, so basically the dude back here behind Molly's left hand was the bodyguard that Rimuru hired for him, but the bodyguard wasn't supposed to show up again until after he had a whole conversation with Molly when he explained, oh yeah, we were attacked, blah blah blah. Also, this dude right here, Beard, no idea how to actually pronounce his name. There's a whole cutout scene we never actually got from Season 1, where Rimuru, when he first went to Inglacia, actually traveled with the adventuring trio idiots and met him trying to scam people and saying, haha, I killed a horned bear. And then Rimuru looked at it and was like, yeah, no, that's just a regular bear that you stuck a horn onto. And though after that conversation, he decided to actually, become a good person and became Molly's bodyguard. We actually see him in Season 1 with Molly when they're being attacked by the Sky Dragon. After that encounter, the two of them were basically like, all right, well, I guess we're working together for the rest of our lives. Molly's like, I trust you explicitly, even though you're a con artist. Huzzah! It's amazing how trauma can really bind people together. Ooh, the equinoids and bovoids. Oh, that's gonna be a fun conversation. Yeah, really, this is an arena bigger than the one in Inglacia, the biggest arena in the world that Rimuru built in less than 2 months. Also, I do absolutely love the detail of every pillar having Rimuru on top of it. That is adorable. Yeah, Molly, shocked. Utterly shocked. You built this in 2 months. What kind of nut house am I working for? Good Lord above! Yeah, even though Molly's not a monster, the other monsters are like, yeah, sure, if Rimuru trusts you, then we are absolutely happy with that. And it does certainly help that monsters are just really bad at numbers, math, money, all those kinds of things. So yeah, Molly is very much needed here. And this is the private mansion that Rimuru, not really made for Molly, it was actually made for someone else, but Rimuru is giving to Molly. And it is, oh, let's see Molly's reaction. Yeah, that's about right. That is about right. I love it. Oh God, the vase. I love that vase. I want that vase. So yeah, basically this mansion that Rimuru is giving to Molly is better than the best mansion you could buy in Ingracia, the, nicest, most expensive city in the entire West. Okay, there is a lot wrong with the scene right here, but anyway, first thing I want to mention, so this mansion has running water, magic stoves, baths, and toilets, and has 10 apartments connected to this mansion that have a shared bath and dining room. And this is all basically just standard in Tempest. All these features, all these luxuries are standard in Tempest. Even the cheaper motels basically have the exact same thing. The only difference here is this mansion is a bit bigger than the other ones. Oh, good lord above. Tempest is really freaking amazing, and I'm not sure if we'll see the conversation here, but once Molly realizes how fancy and wonderful Tempest is, he basically decides that the labyrinth should become a place where adventurers can work. Essentially, rather than just, oh, they're going to come here and have some fun, it's, oh no, this is going to be their full-time residence. They're just going to live in Tempest, live in these beautiful inns, better than you could find anywhere else in the world, and, spend their time going to the labyrinth, farming monsters, getting magic stones, and selling them to the guilds, which is well beyond what Rimuru was expecting for the labyrinth, but is an absolutely brilliant move. And of course, it's something that Molly thought that Rimuru had already thought of, and Rimuru just went with it, because of course he did. Oh, that dropkick. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Okay, so 5 things I need to mention here. First off, Gobamon right here was sent by Rimuru to keep an eye on Molly, but was also ordered not to let Molly see him, for whatever reason. Though Molly was in danger so many times on his way to Tempest, even in Blumend, that, Molly basically realized pretty quickly, okay, so Rimuru sent a bodyguard to look after me, but he didn't want me to know, so I'm just gonna pretend not to notice. Which, brilliant. Absolutely freaking brilliant. Also, Gobamon was a member of the Goblin Riders and was in the running to actually lead them before Gopta took over, but was basically denied that ability, denied that opportunity, because he is too good. He's too skilled. Essentially, he can do everything on his own, so he doesn't actually let the people under him do anything and doesn't work with them. Whereas Gopta, super freaking lazy, and as a result, he asks other people to do things. He asks other people to put the work in, and they're able to grow as a result, which is apparently the better leadership strategy. Love that. Also, Gobamon is from, or at least has a large role in the manga spinoff Trinity in Tempest, which is, oh god, it's such a good spinoff. It's basically, okay, what if Carrion, Frey, and Malim's people all send spies into Tempest to check out what's so great about the city? And then just these 3 girls, living it up, having fun in Tempest, and really finding themselves. Oh, it's so amazing. It is so good seeing, the events of Tempest, the events of this series, from an outsider perspective. I mean, seriously, the first time they see Rimuru, it's like they're encountering a freaking god. It is so absolutely epic. God, I want that to get animated. I seriously, seriously want that spin-off to get an anime. Anyway, though, in that series, one of the girls works for public safety, whatever it's called in that series, and Gobamon is her supervisor, basically in charge of her, making sure the Tempest is kept safe. Okay, so a lot was cut out here, too. Basically, in the fight against the Basilisk, Gobamon's arm started to petrify, and he cut it off himself. Absolute Chad move right there, but refused to take a healing potion because he believed that he had failed his mission, as he was told not to let Molly see him, and Molly did end up seeing him. However, Rimuru explains that this wasn't actually his real mission, and rather, he was supposed to, look at Molly, see his leadership strategy, see how he worked with those beneath him, and learn from this that he could become a better leader. At which point Rimuru then, heals his arm, tells him to keep an eye on Molly and learn from him, and even gives him his old katana as basically a reward for having finished his mission and something to work towards, something that he can work towards being worthy of. It's a really great scene. I'm very disappointed they cut it out. Oh, the Rabbit Men. I'm very excited for them because, well, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so basically, every tribe in the forest wants to, be under the protection of a true demon lord, someone who can keep them safe from other tribes, invaders, humans, what have you. However, if that demon lord is too weak, then, won't be able to protect them, and it's much better for them to just kill the demon lord right here, right now, before he ticks off somebody much stronger, much bigger, and much more willing to, murder every last one of them. And they are somewhat right to be worried, concerned, considering that Rimuru is in fact a slime, and the previous guardian of the Forest of Jura was goddamn Veldora himself. In fact, that's a big reason why the Eastern Empire hasn't invaded the West, because they were afraid of Veldora, even though he was sealed away in the forest. That is such a stupid outfit. I love it so much. In fact, they might actually say this here, but in the light novel, he had multiple outfits, which he had to change like multiple times per day. Which, why? Absolutely why? I think they just really loved yeah, oh god, they are so happy. Shuna is, look at that smile on Shuna's face. That is so, so adorable. I love it. Yeah, after the audience ceremonies last for 3 days, there are a lot of people to get through, and we're about a third of the way through this episode, so I think we're going to end up having more content cuts. As it is already the most cut episode of this season so far. Yeah, it's probably for the best that Diablo isn't here, because not everybody is going to be super respectful of this slime, and Diablo would have, wiped them out, wiped them off the face of this world in a second, as soon as they weren't showing enough reverence to Rimuru. Yeah, Falmus is no more. Now it's called, Falmus, something like that. Honestly, I've never been able to pronounce the old names. I probably won't be able to pronounce the new name either. Beautiful. Oh, the Goblin Riders in their armor. Oh, that is beautiful. That is so, so beautiful right there. I love it. Yeah, Team Kurenai. Oh god, his first class people, his executives, all in their black outfits. Oh god, Shuna and Xion in their black miniskirt outfits. Oh, that is all so precious. Oh, the Rabbit Man, yes! Oh, I'm excited for this. So yeah, this episode now has characters from two separate spin-off mangas. This is, yeah, he's an unnamed rabbit man, so he doesn't actually have a name. But he is, I'm gonna call him Cam, because that's the name of the rabbit man dad in our Fureta. Anyway, though, Cam is the father of Framea, who is actually the main character of Ways of the Monster Nation. Another manga spin-off, absolutely love it. It was unfortunately canceled due to, I think, the author's health, which very sad, but it's a fun series. I don't think we'll end up seeing it animated simply because, yeah, the manga goes pretty far into light novel content, stuff we won't see until like 2 or 3 volumes down the road, which is unfortunate. But still, I would recommend reading it if you are a light novel reader. It's fun, it's fantastic. It's basically from making a tour guide brochure for Tempest. Basically going around and being like, oh, this is nice. Oh, this is nice. And then writing up reviews, writing up recommendations of people, and just making a whole tour guide booklet for everyone coming to Tempest to figure out what exactly it is they should be doing while they're there. It's a great way of just showing off everything Tempest has. Oh god, above, the orcs in their suits. The orcs are wearing suits. Oh, I love that so much. Oh. I'm not sure we're going to see it, but it actually is said in the light novel that the High Orcs actually bring their children and grandchildren to this event simply because they are shocked that their children were born as High Orcs. Basically, it's like, if you're familiar with Pokemon, if you have a Charizard who has a kid, that kid is going to be a Charmander, but for whatever reason, their kids were Charizards. Their kids kept the evolutions they had, which, fantastic. And they were so happy, surprised, and proud of this, they want to show it off to Rimuru. Okay, so it looks like they are just fully skipping the Rabbitman audience, which is very disappointing. Basically, Rimuru saw the Rabbitman leader. The Rabbitmen were just scared out of their goddamn mind. I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. And Rimuru was very calm and casual with them, and even, praised Cam's daughter for being so full of curiosity, which literally brought the man to tears, as he is so honored to hear such praise from a demon lord. It's a really fun scene. Again, this is the most cut episode I have ever seen from this series, and that's really saying a lot. Anyway, though, now we have Abiru, who is Gabiru's father, and should not look like this at all. He evolved after getting a name from Rimuru. He looks like a, human being now, not a dragon newt. In fact, Rimuru doesn't even recognize him at first, so that's a weird change to make here. Yeah, Rimuru actually doesn't really talk for any of these encounters, and when he does, he's like super formal and rigid and whatever, because that's what Shuna told him to do. But Abiru is a friend of his. He's someone who's known for a long time, and he won't stand for formalities here. Yeah, in fact, Shuna is very, very miffed that he's so casual here, but, that's just who Rimuru is. Yeah, he wasn't expecting to get called out like that. Yeah, I mean, he's actually, in light novel, he's actually very surprised to hear that his son is working in research and development, considering the fact that he is a freaking idiot. Except he was never actually an idiot. He was, in fact, very smart, just, very gullible. I think that's a big thing of Tempest, of this entire series, is basically finding the place where you belong, finding the place where you can really shine. Gabiru was put in a cave growing Hapoto herbs, whatever it was, and then got interested in the research, started talking to the researchers, and now is a researcher. He always had the skill, he just never had the, spark, the chance to actually get involved in it. So now he does. Huzzah! And of course, Gabiru's henchmen, his followers, are all just really proud of him because, Gabiru hasn't really spoken to his dad since he was literally kicked out of his family and exiled. So this is like a bonding moment between them. And Rimuru has basically nudged, Gabiru to make a leap, to have a conversation with his father, to meet with him privately after this event so that Gabiru can be, formally welcomed back into his family. Okay, so they did skip the High Orcs and the Rabbit Men, which very disappointing. But anyway, though, now we have Traya and Triss, Trainee's sisters, who are here representing the tree ants, who are, living trees, so they can't be here to represent themselves. Yes, they literally say, we wish to serve the beautiful fairy queen just as our great elder sister does. And so do the tree ants. Yeah, for whatever reason, they are just utterly and completely obsessed with Romulus. I don't actually know why. Maybe it's because, in Romulus' true form as the elemental queen, whatever the frick she was back then, she was just that ravishing. Or maybe, when she actually is at full strength, actually is at her true power, then she just looks that amazing. Then she actually is as amazing as she claims to be. I really don't know. Actually, now I think about it, Trainee, Triss, Traya, I don't think they were actually named by Rimuru, so were they named by Romulus? That would actually make a lot of sense when I think about it. I mean, naming someone does create a very strong connection between the two, which, we've seen from everyone who got named by Rimuru. Yeah, Romulus' family just keeps growing bigger and bigger. Good for her. I know she's very annoying, but she deserves some happiness too. Yeah, so basically they took the refugee camp and moved all of the tree ants, all the trees, all the dryads into this space that, basically they could help manage the magicules in the labyrinth, help spawn monsters better, and just, keep an eye on everything. Good lord above. Seriously, Gapta, you're sleeping on day 2? You are the leader of these people! Act like it! So yeah, basically floor 95 now has the refugees, the tree ants, the dryads, and a special health spa / inn for, the real adventurers make it that far. And the entire floor itself is 3 miles by 3 miles, which is utterly insane considering there's a whole inverted pyramid shape, with the first floor being the biggest one, and that's only 800 feet by 800 feet. So basically it's inverted pyramid, huge freaking refugee camp, health spa, all of that. Also, floor 91 is storage for metal ore, floor 92 is a plant for producing magic steel, floor 93 is a garden, floor 94 is in charge of honey production, and floor 95 is this beautiful labyrinth city. Huzzah! Anyway though, now it's day 2 of the audience, and this involves the stronger species. First off is the bovoids and the equinoids. God, oh wow, I love how disturbing that looks, seriously. Oh, they are angry. So yeah, basically these two have been fighting for 100 freaking years, and now they both want Rimuru's aid in wiping out the other one, which... insane. Absolutely insane. Also, just because they're fighting in front of the freaking goddamn Demon Lord, they're here to ask for protection. Hey, Demon Lord, just so rude, so insanely rude. Gozu? That's how they're translating it? Gozu? It's definitely bovoid, or yeah, bovoid in the light novel. Mezus. I mean, that's weird. Gozus and Mezus. I mean, maybe like I said, the term in the light novel is bovoids and equinoids. Maybe that's a translation from some mythical race of Japanese folklore. I mean, horse people, cow people. That definitely feels like something you'd see in Japanese folklore. Huh, a minotaur. Now, where exactly does a minotaur belong again? Oh, I just can't remember. That's right, a labyrinth! So basically, Rimuru sees these two screaming at each other and thinks to himself, hey, I should give them a job. Insane. Absolutely insane. Oh, I love that their people ran away, but the bosses themselves are so just obsessed with their own anger and rage and hatred that they don't even notice. I love that running away, seriously. I mean, good lord above. Rimuru's lord ambition is strong enough to actually make Gazelle sweat a little bit, and yet these two fully and completely oblivious to it. I mean, Rigard, you are strong. You are very, very strong. I don't think you would win this fight. I mean, seriously, is Rigard an A rank? I definitely don't think so. Yep, that's a bit of an issue. Basically, they were just invaded. Oh no! Yeah, that they freaking noticed. That they noticed. And they're literally shaking in their boots. For the record, this is the amount of power right now they're feeling equal to Clayman, a pre-awakened Clayman. I love how quickly that humbled them. Like, oh, okay, that's real power right there. And you might say, well, Rimuru's Lord Ambition is real power, but, I mean, that's like, that's more like intimidation rather than just pure strength. Rimuru himself is always suppressing his actual strength, his actual magicules, so they don't leak out and hurt the people around him. Also love that Xian's shirt doesn't actually fit her. Like, seriously, Shuna made these shirts. She should have had her measurements. Why did she not get a proper fitting shirt? Yeah, so these three, who Rimuru describes as looking like street punks, were basically on their way, or wanted to take out Clayman and take his spot as Demon Lords. And, I mean, could they have done that? Maybe. If it was just against Clayman himself, 3 against 1, they could certainly have won. They could certainly have overpowered him. But if Clayman was joined by, the moderate jesters, then that is a much different story, because they are just real powerhouses, and I don't think these 3 could have won against them together. Important, he said, I won't kill anyone for no reason, and that is true. Even though, they beat up Team Kurenai and Team Reborn, they didn't actually kill any of them. And while it is very hard to kill someone from Team Reborn, killing Team Kurenai, much, much easier. I love that look. Seriously, there's a whole conversation those two had right there. Basically saying, first off, I lost more people, so I can take care of this. And also, I am better at restraining my power, so I won't accidentally kill them. Oh, that was beautiful. Yeah, you could really eliminate a lot of people from this list. Obviously, not Malim, Bromorus, or Luminous, because they said our father told us about her. Such leaves Guy, Leon, Dino, and Dragrule. Now, if they were Guy's sons, that would be a much, much more terrifying situation, and I don't think anyone would imagine that Leon's sons act like this. So basically, it leaves... God above. I love that even in Rimuru's mind, Dino is sitting down half asleep. Seriously. That is such a terrifying statement. Far more suited to holding back than me. I mean, he's not wrong there. We've seen very few moments where Benimaru has actually had to hold back against anyone, really. Good lord. Hey, oh god, above, I love this arena. Seriously. This is the first time we're seeing it from the air. Oh, that's so amazing. I think there should be like private boxes for royals and all that, but still very impressive. Yeah, that's Rimuru sitting right there. The throne of the Demon Lord. Important note, Xion does not have her sword with her. Yeah, important. Xion is actually weaker than all of them in terms of magical count. In fact, she was weaker than Clayman, but she still kicked his butts. Quite easily, I might add. Oh god, you gotta rewind. Seriously? She punched that dude. I mean, that dude came out of nowhere. But she punched him so hard, she knocked the other dude out of the ring. God, the sound he's making. Yo, 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 yo. Embedded right into the Coliseum. Hopefully they can fix that before opening day. Yeah, I probably should mention this. Xion is terrifying. Xion is absolutely freaking terrifying. That dude's just in the side of the Coliseum now. I say just leave him there, you know? That'll be a good advertisement for it. Just like a body with legs hanging out in the side of the Coliseum. I mean, spectators are going to show up and be like, oh, okay, so this is going to get next level serious right here. She's gotten better at holding back. I mean, she has been training Team Reborn for a while now. Yeah, she is insanely broken. Yeah, seriously, Rimuru is the nicest Demon Lord by far. If any of the other Demon Lords had their territory invaded, these three would have been killed without a doubt. I love the big one, he's fun. Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. They do kind of look like him, at least a little bit. Yeah, I can definitely see the family connection. Certainly more than they look like Dino, Guy, or Leon. I love this line so much. Yes, Dad ordered us to train under you. So we decided to invade you and pick a fight because, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, good lord above. Also, Drag Rule just literally handed over his annoying, disobedient kids onto Rimuru because he didn't feel like dealing with them. Yeah, they were actually kicked out, so good lord. Also, I am terrified of what a little ruckus actually means in the context of these three right here. I mean, they are so off the charts that a little ruckus could literally be, you know, wiping out a small nation. Yeah, that's kind of a running theme of this series. Demon Lords just, you know, kicking their problems onto Rimuru because, I mean, he has the manpower, he can handle it. Yeah, basically, he realizes that Shion can actually, manage him, actually manage them and handle them. And his hope really is okay, Shion is going to be so brutal and awful and terrible to them after they were so disrespectful to me that they are going to quickly give up and go back home. But she is just so excited to have orders from Rimuru, to actually have something she can do to help him out. I mean, they really do seem to respect strength, so they realize, okay, you're stronger than us, we will listen to you, we will obey you, we will call you Big Sis. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so after seeing that, after seeing Rimuru's aide, his secretary, beat up the three dudes that left these guys shaking in their boots, they've decided, okay, yeah, so Rimuru is really freaking strong, and we don't want to get on his bad side. Also important to note that after they swear fealty to Rimuru, Shion actually says, oh, thank God, because if you hadn't, I would have torn out your tongues. Lovely. Yeah, elves age weirdly. Basically, they look 20 for their entire lives until they reach, like, the end of their lives, at which point they age very, very rapidly. Yeah, so basically the war between the Bovoids and Equinoids, which is what I'm going to keep calling them, was so intense and massive that a bunch of trees died and the elves were left with no real place to live or hide or eat. That's also the reason why there's a bunch of elves working in the Dwarf Kingdom, why there's a whole nightclub full of elves, because they were fleeing this war. Yeah, so they basically went to ask for a favor, and Rimuru's like, hey, I already did it for you. And he has another thing he can do for them. Basically, they're like, wow, we need a forest full of trees where we can live. I wonder where we're going to find that. And Rimuru realizes, hey, wait a minute. I built a full 3-mile-long forest out of trees, triads, dryads, and refugees. Also have a bunch of houses there already, which, the refugees won't live there forever, so yeah, we got a place for you. A literal paradise. Yeah, because a bunch of elves went out to work in, the Western nations, and they didn't come back. Like, seriously, this dude is like, wow, I was gonna ask for a favor, but you already granted it, so let me just mutter out some other desires. Oh, you granted that too? Well, then I'm also gonna mention that a bunch of our elves are missing and haven't returned yet. Yeah, remember Count Kazakh, whatever the frick his name is? He offered to get he offered to start business with Molly involving elf slaves, a super, super illegal thing, and that's probably related to why there's a bunch of elves who went missing and never came back home, because they were captured and turned into slaves. Yeah, Viscount. He's a Viscount, not a Count. Which, I mean, I feel like Rimuru should have already been investigating that dude after Molly got attacked again and again and again. God, I love Diablo. Seriously. Oh! Holy mother of God above, the Tengu. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. There's so much there. Just, seriously. Alright, that's going to be a very, very fun next episode. Unfortunately, actually, let's get to the title. Next time, Benimaru's ordeal. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh god, poor Benimaru, seriously. Anyway, though, so as I was saying, for next episode, my video on it is going to be delayed by probably a week or two, maybe 3, because I'm going to be out of the country visiting family. And right now, I don't really know when I'm coming back. Things have gotten very, very complicated on my end, and honestly, recording this video is the least stressful thing I've done all day. I've been dealing with a full-blown panic attack since I woke up, but now recording, I've calmed down, I'm relaxed, I'm feeling a lot better, so thank you for listening to me. Anyway, though, this episode, I mean, it was great. We got to see 2 different characters from 2 different manga spin-offs, which I am very much hoping to see animated someday. We had all the audiences. That was great. Unfortunately, a lot of content was cut out. I mean, I kept saying this is probably the most cut episode I've ever seen, and yeah, I really do believe it. I mean, other episodes have cut, like, arcs and whatnot, but there's just so many details and little things missing from this episode. It's absolutely insane. But let me know what you think down below. What do you think of the what do you think of the new monsters we met? What do you think of the 3 brothers, the Equinoids and Bovoids, who just fully wanted to pick a fight with Rigurd, which, oh, I don't think that would have gone well for him. But what do you think? Could Rigurd have beaten one or both of these guys? What do you think of the Rabbit Men? We only saw them very briefly, but what do you think of them? Abiru reunited with his father. That was sweet. Oh, and Rimuru got a nice little outfit and a crown. I loved all that. But anyway, let me think of all that down below. And until next time, peace. God dang it. I hit my arm. Goodbye.